Well, hello everyone, TheOntarioGardener here, back with another PlateUp automation tutorial. And as the title says, potato salad automated? Can you do that? Some people say it's not possible. Some say it can't be done, but guess what? It can be done, and I've done it right here. The trick with all of this is this right here. The only way to get, if you look at actually the recipe for how to make potato salad, is you can't hold the cooked potatoes in your hand. You have to interact it with a plate. And it's like, well, how do you interact it with a plate and automate it? This is the secret right here. You put the chopped cooked potatoes on here, so you're combining it with a portioner that is portioning what's in the pot. So the portioner is portioning what's in the pot. The combiner is holding the pot and is combining it onto what would be a plate. I'm going to show you two different ways to do this. This is the setup. It's not the most optimized, but it's actually pretty compact. This up here is optional. This is to fully automate it in the sense of having plates lined up ready to go, but that would require some sort of plate input, and then this is just to have an extra output instead of it ending up here. But basically the input is here and the output is here. So I'm going to walk you through it real quick with my mouse. So first you got to make the potatoes. So you have potatoes are being chopped. They get combined with a pot of water that then gets boiled. So you're basically making chips without the cooking part, or I should say making mashed potatoes without the mashing part. So you're cooking the potatoes. They're going to come and they're going to sit on the combiner. Well, they will cycle on this machine here, but they will sit on the combiner. They will combine with a plate, which you will place here, or like I said, in the stack, which I will show you in a second. That will combine onto here. You have to have a smart grabber set up this way to pull a plated, cooked, chopped potato, nothing else. If you have a regular grabber here, it'll grab the plate as soon as it comes in. Now, if you have it set up to where you're manually putting the plates in, there's a good likelihood that this will just grab the plate anyway. So for me, do it like this. Have one smart grabber, and then that's going to be continued on this way. Now, what else you have to use to make potato salad is you need to make mayonnaise, which basically that's oil combining with a chopped egg. And you can combine things onto another combiner, onto something else. So you can chain these things together as long as they go together. Like in a sense, you could do pizza if you're combining this onto the crust, which is combining onto the cheese or something like that. But you use oil to combine with a chopped egg, which will combine to make mayonnaise, which will turn it'll go onto this plate. And then here's just a simple chopped onion, which you also need, which you're combining onto this tile right here. So let's set this up as if you're manually feeding this, and then we'll set it up with the kind of more automated type setup. Now, this pot stack business here, again, this could be optimized a bit better. It just depends on if you want to make something compact. Otherwise, you could have smart grabbers in here doing different things. But basically, you're going to see what happens. All three of these are going to cook, and they're just going to continue and cycle, because you can't portion something that can't be portioned, if that makes sense. And the way that potato salad works is you can't portion into nothing. So similar to how you have beans, you can portion beans onto a piece of toast using this method. The bean pot will sit here. You'll be actually combining it with the toast, and the toast will be on a plate, and you're portioning the beans onto the plate, and it's also using the combine action. It's just how the mechanic works. So you see, these are just going to cycle around until we throw a plate on. Now watch what happens. Wait for the next one to cycle through. Boom, it grabs it, triggers the smart grabber. Boom, egg, mayonnaise, onion, and there is your potato salad. So it's pretty straightforward. I mean, to a point. Like I said, the biggest hurdle here that would mess anybody up, honestly, I've never seen this automated before. I haven't done it really myself, but I did now, obviously. And you have to, this is the trick. This is here. If you try to put a countertop here, it will do nothing. And if you try to put a countertop here, it will do nothing. You need to have these two things facing each other with a plate on here. So if you want to more so fully automate this, you can't put this into a prep station because it's on a plate. This countertop, these two countertops are just placeholders. You could have these could be conveyor belts, or these could be grabbers. It doesn't matter. This is just showing that you can use it. Something in between these you can use. It doesn't matter what it is. And then this is just an extra one where it would plate up. Again, you could have this all the way down here, and you could have these feeding in from over here. Again, it doesn't matter how you want to set it up, depending on how your run is going. But let's fully automate it now and see how that goes. It does exactly the same thing, except the plate waits on the portioner. So see down there at the bottom here where my mouse is, at the smart grabber, if you don't have this set to, if you don't have a smart grabber set to cooked potato on a plate, it'll pull the plate and it'll just combine these two and it'll do nothing. Here we go. Here's the magic. Boom, boom, and last one, and onions, and boom, and then we're going to go right back to here. And this is where you would grab the portion from, right? And then say you have a plate that you just washed, you'd bring that back here. Now, the beauty with having a full auto plate stack here is you're going to have 8 plates. If you wanted to have more than 8 plates, you could put another plate stack in there, or you could put like the baby 4 plate stack in there. It just depends on how your run is going, in the sense of, are you going to need more than 8 or 12 potato salad portions per day? If the answer is yes, well then all you have to do is just figure out a way to get plates back into the system. Again, you could, like I said, you could run these all the way out to here. This could be tucked away, or you could use teleporters. There could be a teleporter here and a teleporter. Well, the plate stack would be first, the teleporter would be back here or something like that, and you would just cycle it through. Or like I showed you in the example in the beginning, is if you'd use a teleporter system, you could put the teleporter literally, let's see it right here where I'm standing. You could put a teleporter here, and you could put a teleporter. You can't put it here because the way the combine action, it likely won't combine the same way every time. So I would suggest putting the combiner or putting the teleporter here. So this would be eliminated. These plate stacks to be somewhere else. Again, this just depends on how many plates you have or how many customers you have. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to put it back the way it was, because this is the easiest for you guys to understand, in my opinion. Easiest way for me to teach you guys how to understand. And there you are. I'll run it one more time for you. Like I said, over here, you could optimize this better by using smart grabbers. Basically, you'd have a smart grabber here that would only pull pots that have a chopped potato in it, uncooked, so these wouldn't cycle 2 times. You could put another combiner here to combine the potatoes afterwards, because you can't use a combiner to combine 2 items onto the same tile at the same time. It doesn't work that way, unless there's something holding it back, like this one was. So again, if you optimize this a bit better, you can make it work. Otherwise, you can't, because only one object can occupy a grabber at a time. And the way that these, I call them the ticks, work is sometimes you'll get a double, like that one. And it's because that this was actually occupying this middle space, which is why it combined. But regardless of that, this is how you end up doing it. And there you go. You're going to portion the plates out, and then we're going to take this one, and we're just going to cycle through again. I'm going to grab one more, because this one that's down here, this one doesn't have an onion on it, right? Because it has to combine as the action is going through. So I grab that one, you'll see the onion get put on, kind of. There it is, and then you are ready to go. All right, guys. Pretty straightforward. I mean, I say it's straightforward. Actually, it took me quite a while to figure out the whole combiner portioner trick. But it does work, obviously, as demonstrated. So, yeah, that's how you automate potato salad. The only other thing that I don't think I've automated yet, if you got to the end of this video, is apple salad. Expect a video out of on that coming out very shortly, within the next week. It's basically done the same way, because except instead of using potatoes, you have to set up your tomato setup, or not tomatoes. You have to have your apple setup done, and you have to have the mayonnaise set up, and you have to have the lettuce set up. So it's a little bit different system, but this general idea here will be the same. It's just all of this will be completely different, because you don't use potatoes, you don't use cookers. You won't be needing to use this type of portion or combiner setup, because you're not cooking potatoes, which require a pot. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving me a like as well as a comment. What do you think? Was this worth it? I mean, this is pretty compact. I mean, all things considered, you can optimize this better, of course, depending on whatever run you have. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, enjoying my automation videos in general, hit that subscribe button. It would really help with the channel. And is there something that you want me to automate that I haven't done before besides apple salad? I think everything else I've done. You can't automate beans, but I have an auto bean and toast video where you're auto putting the beans on the toast, which is a pretty elaborate setup, which gives you breadboards, it gives you toast, and it also gives you beans on toast. I think breadboards, but in any case, at least beans on toast and the regular toast. So it's a pretty elaborate setup. So go over there and check out that video. Just search for auto beans on toast, and you'll find it on the YouTube. All right, guys, thanks a lot, and I'll catch you next time.